now, Leland Vittert, Chief Washington anchor and host of On Balance. Okay, Leland, 8 days out. We're hearing from both of the campaigns. They're not holding anything back, and they shouldn't because it's close. Let's start with this Trump rally and some of the comments that were made. Is that just political fodder, right? It's jokes, it's expected, we've become desensitized to it, or is it deeper than that?
I'd say two things on it. Number one, I find it interesting how aghast Democrats are, what Republicans say, when Democrats are the ones calling 80 million Trump supporters Nazis. How dare you make a joke about Puerto Rico, you Nazi? Well, okay. At that point, who's pot and who's kettle, number one. Number two, there was a Democratic rally where there was a joke, I think equally offensive or more offensive, made about Mexicans that isn't covered. So I don't think this really changes much. I mean, in terms of undecided voters that exist, they're not going to all of a sudden go, oh, gee, I was going to vote for Donald Trump, who there's the Access Hollywood tape about. He said he was going to build a wall, but now that somebody at one of his rallies made a joke about Puerto Rico, I just can't do it anymore. I've spent a lot of time in swing states and have yet to find that voter.
Right. And you and I have spent a lot of time studying this, and I think very little surprises us in the final stretch. I think there's going to be a lot more of this between now and next Tuesday. About the issues, though, you've got a powder keg in the Middle East right now, something you've been following closely. Harris was interrupted during her Philadelphia rally by a pro-Palestinian protester. Here's how she responded.
I want to talk about Gaza for a minute, okay? We can and we must seize this opportunity to end this war and bring the hostages home. And I will do everything in my power to meet that end.
We've got Iran and Israel now going back and forth, exchanging fire. How big of an issue for this is this for the Harris campaign?
I think it's pretty interesting that you've got pro-Palestinian flags or Palestinian flags at Democratic rallies, and you've got Israeli flags at the Trump Madison Square Garden rally last night that were very prominent. And Trump made his support of Israel center stage in this campaign. So I think it's an enormous issue, and it's a huge problem for Kamala Harris. That line about it's time to get a ceasefire, she and Joe Biden have been saying that now for 12 months, 12 and a half months, almost since October 7th. So I think this is it speaks not only to an issue of the Middle East, but it speaks to a feeling of disorder in the world. And that you have Joe Biden as the commander-in-chief. Kamala Harris wants to be the commander-in-chief. The next president is going to be a wartime president on day one. And that changes the dynamic of how Americans look at their president. When 7 p.m., on Friday night, we started the show off with breaking news as Israel attacked Iran. And that just changes the frame of how Americans look at their president.
Right. And then you've got the situation with Ukraine and Russia and now North Korea involved in that. There's a lot of global unrest around all of it. The economy, though, is what typically drives Leland people to the polls and will next Tuesday. Trump rolled out his tax policy. This happened for the first time at his rally Sunday. Let's take a listen.
And I'm announcing a new policy today that I will support a tax credit for family caregivers who take care of a parent or a loved one. It's about time that they were recognized, right? I'll also make interest on car loans fully tax deductible, but only for cars made in America.
All right, well, this gets at the heart of it. This is the kitchen table issues people are talking about as they prepare their meals and sit down and talk about the election. How significant are some of these promises?
Not at all, because the American people realize politicians promise them all sorts of things that aren't going to happen. We're in the you get a car, you get a car, you get a car phase of the campaign. What's interesting is that the Hail Marys, if you will, that Trump is doing are on policy issues. The ones that Harris are doing right now are on personality issues, right? There was a cognitive choice to not talk about issues and develop new policy sets. She has something coming out about Puerto Ricans yesterday or today. But specifically for Trump, there's all these policy issues. For Harris, it is more in deeper personality attacks on Donald Trump and on Republicans, especially as it comes to abortion.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.